POV. You're going to be the first millionaire in your family. It's 5:47 a.m. The alarm didn't even need to go off. You were already awake, staring at the ceiling, running numbers in your head before your feet even hit the floor. You look over at your phone. 3 notifications, a text from your mom asking if you're coming to dinner this weekend, a bank balance that's higher than it's ever been, but still not where you need it to be, and a reminder you set for yourself last night at 2 a.m. that just says, remember why. You don't need the reminder, you never forget why. Because you remember being 11 years old, sitting at the kitchen table watching your parents go through bills with that look on their faces, that look of doing math that doesn't add up, that look of choosing which bill gets paid this month and which one gets a phone call asking for just a little more time. You remember the silence after. The kind of silence that says more than any conversation ever could. And you remember thinking, even then, this isn't going to be my life. This isn't going to be my kid's life. Something has to change. And if nobody else in this family is going to be the one to change it, then it's going to be you. So here you are. Years later. Still not there yet. But not where you started either. You get up, you don't scroll. You don't check social media first thing, not anymore. That habit died a long time ago. Somewhere between the books you started reading and the people you stopped hanging around. You make your bed. You drink water before coffee. Small things, but small things done every single day are what separate the people who talk about change from the people who become it. You sit down at your desk, the same desk, where 2 years ago you were working a job that paid you just enough to survive, but never enough to build anything. You remember scrolling through your bank account back then and feeling that pit in your stomach, that feeling of running in place, of working 40, 50 hours a week, and somehow still being one emergency away from disaster. You remember the moment everything shifted. It wasn't dramatic. Nobody handed you a check. There was no lottery ticket, no rich uncle, no overnight miracle. It was a Tuesday, a regular boring Tuesday, and you just decided that someday wasn't a plan. You decided that comfort was the enemy. You decided that you were done being a spectator in your own life. And that decision cost you. People didn't understand. Some laughed. Some told you to be realistic, to keep the safe job, keep the steady paycheck, keep your head down. And for a while, that voice in your head agreed with them. Because doubt doesn't disappear just because you made a decision. Doubt just goes quiet for a while and then comes back louder. Usually, right? When things get hard. But you kept going. You worked the job during the day, and you built at night on weekends during lunch breaks in the parking lot before your shift started. While other people were unwinding, you were grinding. While other people were sleeping in, you were already 3 hours into your day. Nobody saw that part. Nobody claps for the version of you that exists at midnight, with 3 tabs open and a half-eaten dinner you forgot about an hour ago. That's the part nobody talks about. The boring part. The unglamorous, unsexy, 1,000 small decisions part. Saying no to things you wanted to say yes to. Watching your friends go on trips, buy new cars, host their vacations, while you sat there, reinvesting every single dollar back into yourself, back into your future, back into the version of your life that doesn't exist yet, but that you can already see. So clearly, it almost feels real. And slowly, so slowly, you almost didn't notice things started to shift. The first time you made more in a month from your own work than from your job, you didn't celebrate. You just sat there quiet, staring at the screen, thinking, wait, this actually works. This is actually real. The first time you paid off a debt that had been sitting on your shoulders for years, you cried, not because of the money, because of the weight. Because for the first time in your life, you could breathe. The first time you helped your family with something, paid a bill, covered a repair, took some pressure off, and saw the look on their face, that look that used to be stress, used to be that math that doesn't add up, look. And instead, for the first time, it was relief. That moment, right there. That's the moment you realized this was never just about you. This is bigger than you. You are not just building a number in a bank account. You are rewriting the story for everyone who comes after you. Every kid in your family who's going to grow up and never have to sit at that kitchen table and watch their parents do math that doesn't add up, every future version of your family that gets to start from a different baseline because you decided to be the one who broke the cycle. You think about how generational wealth doesn't start with wealth. It starts with one person who decides enough is enough. One person who's willing to be misunderstood for a few years so their family never has to struggle the way they did. One person who takes the hit, absorbs the hard years, eats the loss, so the next generation inherits the win. And that person is you. You're not there yet. You know that the number isn't 7 figures, not yet. But you can feel it coming. You can feel the trajectory. You know how compounding works, not just with money, but with effort, with discipline, with consistency stacked on top of consistency until one day you look up and the impossible thing isn't impossible anymore. It's just Tuesday. You look at the clock, 6:15 a.m. Most people are still asleep. Most people are hitting snooze for the third time. And you've already worked out, already reviewed your numbers, already sent 3 messages that move your goals forward. Because here's the truth. Nobody tells you. Becoming the first millionaire in your family isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's not about luck. It's not about some secret that everyone else is hiding from you. It's about being willing to do every single day for years, the things that other people are only willing to do for a few weeks. It's about choosing discomfort now, so your kids never have to choose it later. It's about looking at your family's history, the struggle, the sacrifice. We did the best we could with what we had, and saying, with everything in you, not anymore. Not in this generation. The story changes here. The story changes with me. So you stand up, you take a breath, and you get back to work.